42. Blue 42. Sit.
Spanning the universe to bring you the most important content in the world of relegation fantasy football. This is Relegated, the podcast where every match matters and no take is out of bounds.
Welcome back to another episode of Relegated, the fantasy football podcast. Week 3, baby. We're getting into week 3 already.
We are.
That's crazy.
And we are, yeah. It's week 2 was a very different week from week 1.
Yeah. Honestly, more accurate than week 1, in my opinion.
I hope so.
Yeah.
My team did a lot better, so I definitely hope so.
No, I definitely think week 1 was a bit of a hiccup. We do see that every now and then in fantasy football where guys are just getting kind of back into the swing of things and nobody's hitting their projections. There was a lot of really low-scoring games. We get a lot of low-scoring games in Relegated regardless, but it definitely ticked back up. I think, what was median for week 1?
The median for week 1, well, I don't know if it was all that different, was it? 86.22, and median in week 2 was 90. So it was a 4-point difference, I guess.
Yeah, a decent amount, but that's not like crazy. It's not like 90 and 75.
The low score in week 1 was... Ooh.
Well, that's probably going to be pretty consistent.
Let's see. Well, it hasn't been... Oh, wait. Okay. Week 1, African Token had 42.3.
And then week 2, they had 46?
Week 2, they had more than that, didn't they? Because
somebody had 46 last week, didn't they?
Acorn Assassins had 47.
Oh,
I played against them.
That's brutal.
Which I would have loved to flip my weeks around. If I could have put up 126 against you.
Yeah.
And
then you'd be 3 and
1.
3 and 1 instead
yeah,
of 2.
because last week was still terrible.
Yeah.
African Token this week put up 59.4. So they actually have more points than Acorn Assassin total.
I feel like I can make fun of those teams because that was me for 12 of the 16 weeks last year. Like it was like, please hit 65. Like
just anything.
Yeah, just anything. Yeah. Crazy waiver wire week for us.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that right away. I think that
waiver
is
wire.
Yeah, we'll kind of work in reverse. We'll talk about everybody who needs help after a wild week and then
Yeah, take it away if you want to start talking about it.
So the two massive ones. Should we start with the big ones or end with the big ones?
Let's start with the big ones.
Okay, because the other ones we might just not even need to touch on.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carson Wentz went for $81 and Jake Browning went for $81.
Which is absolutely insane. I don't need a quarterback in any sense. I have 3 quarterbacks and they're all pretty solid, but I was thinking about it because I've had trade offers for my quarterbacks. So I was thinking maybe I go after Jake Browning.
You did still put in a $20 bid?
Yeah.
It shows up on here. You were the second lowest.
You jumped to my punchline.
No, did I? So sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Because I was just going to say, I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw in a super conservative offer. I'm probably not going to get him because I don't need him, but it'd be nice to acquire him just in case, like to put him on my roster and then there's still...
and then trade somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Trade him away. So I was like, 15? That's probably too low. I'll put in 20. And then 81. I was like thinking.
So close.
Yeah, which I was like, I don't really want him. And I wasn't going to pay. If somebody was like, all right, you can have him for 82, I wouldn't take that.
Yeah. Okay. So nobody else bid on Carson Wentz.
Jeez. Who got it for 81?
Long necks.
Oh, man. That's a little tough.
Sort of. I mean, it is. I guess it is tough looking at it. No, wait. So sorry. I'm wrong. There were other bids for Carson Wentz. There's no way that
nobody else put a bid in for Carson Wentz.
But can you guess what the next bid
like 18.
was? Lower.
Oh, 9.
Lower.
Oh, so still pretty brutal.
6.
Okay,
$6. 2 teams put in a bid.
Was that the max amount you can put in? Was 81?
Oh, wait. You put in 2 bids for Jake Browning because you also put in a $0 bid for Jake Browning.
Oh, I thought it just trumped it.
It would have, I'm sure, but it's because you had one was dropping one player, one was dropping another. So you must have had 2 different bids. One was at 20, one was at 0.
Gotcha.
So you would have outbid yourself had he been available.
Oh, that's kind of brutal.
Well, he was never going to go for 0.
Because he's projected to be the quarterback in Cincinnati for the next 4 months.
I think for probably the rest of the year, rest of the fantasy year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Jake Browning, that one makes sense. He came out hot in week 1, 3 touchdowns for 240 yards or something like that.
Didn't he have? He had 2 touchdowns, right? Or and 3 interceptions, didn't he? Or
Is that what it was?
he had a lot of interceptions.
Oh, maybe
Let
I
me
was
see
like
if I can-
inflating his stats in my head. I thought he had like 3 touchdowns for 245.
He might have. It might have been 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Oh, okay.
But-
Still like pretty dicey.
All in one half. I still okay. Let's grade the moves here though.
Okay, yeah.
So
Let's just talk about the big ones.
let's start
yeah.
with Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
How do you grade $81 for Carson Wentz?
not great. If you need a quarterback, he was probably thinking, okay, Jake Browning and Carson Wentz are going to be the guys that everybody wants. I think $81 is way too much for Carson Wentz. He wasn't even really on my radar. Like, yeah, great, but JJ should be back in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So-
but here's okay. Give a little bit of background here. He has 2 quarterbacks on his roster, JJ McCarthy and Brock Purdy.
Brutal.
So he has no quarterbacks
So
right
you
now.
need a quarterback.
He needed somebody.
Yeah.
And he has the benefit, like he only wants Carson Wentz to play him. He doesn't want Carson Wentz to trade him.
Right.
So he has the benefit that once JJ's back, he could literally just cut Carson Wentz.
Or keep him.
He
as the
could,
backup.
but you could just cut him and get that $81 of cap space back.
If you cut a player, you get the money back?
Yeah,
Oh.
because it's all cap space. It's not waiver wire budget.
Oh, gotcha.
So if you drop anybody, like you can look at our waiver wire stuff
I
right
guess
now.
that makes sense.
Like
yeah.
guys have like 124 and different. It's because
Yeah.
if you trade somebody and they're worth $80 or whatever, well, that's not possible. Let's just, I think Jamar Chase is $64.
Okay.
If you were to trade a rookie or trade Jamar Chase for a rookie, your team now has $64 extra of cap space.
Interesting.
So all that it is your team has to be less than $300
Yeah.
total, basically. Not well,
So it justifies a little bit higher of a price tag to pick up a guy like this.
for sure, because it doesn't really matter. to him.
Right. So he doesn't really have to cut Carson Wentz until he has to find somebody else on the waiver wire.
Exactly.
And so he could hold
or
on to him
or
as
if
a
he's
hang-
making a trade. Probably more so if he's making a trade.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So I think it was a good move. Like he
Okay.
absolutely needed it. He puts himself in a position to be able to cut him as soon as McCarthy's back.
Yep.
Or, I mean, the worst scenario for him would be if Carson Wentz starts playing well enough to outplay JJ, because now he has to hold him.
Yeah, that's true.
But I still don't think it was like a terrible move. I will give it I'll give it a B just because he way overpaid.
Way overpaid for it. Well, I didn't know I guess I probably should have, being one of the coordinators of the league, but I didn't realize that it was draft dollars, and once you cut it, you get it back, and
Yeah,
then
it's
you can
just-
use it again.
It's
So
just cap or
I was thinking
salary cap.
I was thinking FAAB or whatever it's called.
Yeah, free agent auction budget.
Yeah, I was thinking it was that. So I was like, you just spent everything but $19 in your account for a guy who's going to play like a couple weeks. So I was going to give it like a D plus, but I'd go like C plus because it doesn't really affect you that much.
Okay, so then how do you grade the Browning?
Probably like a B or maybe a B plus. No, probably a B, just because it's still so much money. But Jake Browning is easily the most valuable quarterback available. No, he's the most valuable player in the waiver wires as of week 3.
And probably will be for all season.
Probably.
He probably will be the most valuable for the whole entire
Because
year.
you're tacking in a quarterback who had a decent week, or a week that you can get points from the quarterback on an incredible offense.
Mhm.
Like regardless of who the quarterback is in that helm, Jamar Chase is going to get his. T. Higgins is going to figure it out. He's going to get a couple games where he's going crazy. Yosh Voss will get a couple touchdowns, and Chase Brown will catch. He'll have a reception touchdown this year.
Yeah.
So not a bad play. Jake Browning is probably going to be comparable to guys like, oh man, who is he comparable to? He's probably not quite Daniel Jones at this rate right now. He's probably not even quite Michael Penix or Jordan Love. I'm trying to think of like other guys outside of my team.
I'm trying to think like what kind of a quarterback he is.
Just for, like, fantasy points.
He might be what
Stafford, maybe Stafford.
Just like where he falls overall.
Yeah, for fantasy points, not
for fantasy
necessarily
points,
team
he'll be a
impact.
top 15, I bet.
Okay. So then that's like Michael Penix.
It's probably better than Penix.
I can't imagine he's going to finish better than Penix, but
I can, because there's going to be Atlanta's defense looks decent.
that's
So
true.
there's
They're not
going to be
air it out
weak.
as much.
Cincinnati's defense is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to have a week where they're like, where the defense is dominating.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
I shouldn't say never, but I really don't see
Honestly,
that coming.
if it was going to happen, it might be week 3 against the Vikes.
Yeah, because the Vikes offense might just not be good.
Yeah, no Aaron Jones, so we're reliant on Jordan Mason, and then Carson Wentz. We don't really know what he can do,
and we're missing multiple offensive linemen.
Yeah, that's the big issue. And I don't think that the Vikes are going to bring JJ back until Darrisaw's healthy. I just don't see why they would, or at least until they get their center back or a center. We're starting like a left tackle right now at center,
right?
So our O-line is just a bit banged up. I don't think they want to risk JJ getting hurt further until we figure out that O-line.
I could see him waiting on it.
Yeah. What would you grade the Jake Browning pickup?
I think the Browning, he needed a backup. It solidifies that, but the issue is that he's a bit more locked into him.
Yeah.
He overbid. I put in a $64 bid. I was the next highest.
Wow.
So it like slowly increased. There was a bunch in the 20s, a couple in the 30s, a 40.
Yeah.
Then I went 64.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I thought it was going to be close to what he could go for. I thought he might go for somewhere between like 60 and 75. I kind of was guessing somewhere in there. So it's not like he way went over. He still has wiggle room. It can always adjust. I would say it puts his team in a great spot considering he's at the top of the championship league. So he needs to have a quarterback solidified. If something happens to Goff, whatever.
Yep.
I think it was a good move for his team. I'll give him a B+ on it. I think he could have saved a little bit in hindsight. It's a blind bid, so we never know.
You never really know.
But
and it's way closer than the Wentz pickup.
But I got to take a little away from it just because, I would add if you won by $1, I'd be like, dude, great bid.
Yeah, of course.
Great bid. Literally, if someone had bid 80, it would probably be an A-.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Just because it's like, well, you did what you had to do.
Yeah, right. And like you said, it's a blind bid, so it's hard to say. And it's hard to put a grade on it because you know that you're sitting there like, I've had it so many times. I did this last year with Isaiah Likely. After week 1, it looked like he was about to be tight end 1 for the rest of the year.
Right.
I put in a pretty massive bid. Not for relegated, sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry, this was for a different league.
Oh, okay.
But I did put in a pretty massive bid, and I was like, I just kept going back and forth. Like I put in a bid for 23, and I was like, that's not going to get him 26, 29. And then I ended up...
That's too much.
I know. I felt like it was too much. And then I think I solidified on like 32. And I think the closest bid was like 14. And I was like, gosh, dang it.
Yeah, I had it at the first one.
Yeah, and that was FAB. But
I do think it's fun. I think it's interesting. I think that it's going to... Stuff like this is probably going to make us really need to talk seriously about dead cap penalties being a thing.
Yeah.
Because you can sign anybody, cut anybody, and kind of get some of that salary cap back.
Right.
Which there is an element of strategy. Like maybe you just like, hey, you have to go all out for the guy you want. And then if you want someone else, you can kind of cut and make roster moves. But
yeah.
I kind of like the idea that there would be a little bit more risk at going that hard at somebody. And then if you have to cut them, you can still get creative. You can cut them, but you're going to take a slight penalty for doing it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
If I argue from the opposite side, I think there is something to say about like, year 1, this might not work. Did Cole draft Puka Nacua or did he? No, Kyron Williams. Turf Hoppers picked up Kyron Williams off the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Let's say it was in current state and everybody was interested in Kyron Williams and you had to put down like $80. You can't keep him next year now.
Well, you can't anyways.
What do you mean?
The guys you pick up off of waiver wires are signed to a 1-year deal.
Oh, okay.
So the only way you can keep them is to franchise tag them.
Oh, right.
Which is either going to be... So it would matter in the sense that like if you franchise tag somebody, it's either the average price of the top 10 at their position, like I think probably from the previous draft. So not necessarily... I'm not exactly sure. I have to check that.
I have to figure that out.
Or it's their current contract plus whatever would be. So like if you bid 81, you would have to pay an extra $9. So it'd be $90. You wouldn't get the average. Just whatever's the higher price.
Gotcha.
So it would in that sense, but also it's not like these guys are now on contracts that you can keep for 4 years.
Interesting. Yeah. So then, I guess it adjusts itself there, but maybe, we'll have to take a look at that a little bit further, figure out what's going on. Let's talk about some of the other guys that got picked up though on the waiver wire this week. Couple notable names. Adam Troutman.
Yeah.
Great pickup. I don't know. What was the price tag on Troutman?
Troutman I think he was added for free, wasn't he?
Was he? That's a great pickup.
Yeah, because
then by
he
Andover
was
Avalanche.
he was just added today afterwards. That he didn't go in the.
Oh wow,
in
that's
the
actually
waiver
interesting.
thing.
I didn't even know he was really available.
Well, but he's not that valuable, right? Because Evan Ingram's.
But I'm pretty sure Adam Troutman has out targeted at Evan Ingram so far.
I think. Well, he had way more snaps last week, but that's because Evan Ingram
Evan
wasn't.
Ingram was questionable. Yeah,
I don't know. He might be, but.
I don't know. I mean, I have Evan Ingram in another league, and he just does not look like the guy. Like, he just doesn't look that good this year so far.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and
It's
he
a
was
new
injured
offense.
for one of them.
Yeah. But just like, I don't know. I was hearing a lot of people saying, like, if you're looking to get a random sleeper flyer tight end, like Adam Troutman might be that guy. He might take over more snaps in Denver, and it should be a good offense. It should be rolling for the rest of the season. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think Troutman was a good ad. And then
I think let's talk about the guys who also went in just in that first waiver wire run on Wednesday.
was Cam Akers one of those guys, or was he after too?
Cam Akers was added after.
Okay.
So the guys who were added, Tyrod Taylor, number punchers also got him for $10. Corn Dog added Devontae Walker.
Which is interesting. I mean, he should slow down a little bit, but he did have 2 touchdowns last week.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Savion Williams got added to OG Skylark. Zamir White added to Glizzy. And you got Parker Washington.
Heck yeah. I figured look at the best offenses in the league and then ignore those stats and go after the Jaguars wide receiver room. Because I have all 3 of them now.
I think that's a good call. You're safe unless there's just like an injury that takes out all 3.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Like if it happens to be what's the third installment of the Batman series?
The newest ones, like with Robert Patterson.
No. The Christian Bale. So you got Dark Knight and then Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
When Hines Ward is running and the earthquake happens and the rest of the team falls in.
That's true.
That would hurt you.
Yeah.
Other than that, you should be safe.
You think the Jaguars are your friend? Yeah. We'll see how that plays out. But I thought that was funny. He was like, I think I made 4 bids on the waiver wires, and then that was my 4th one, and I was like, there's some potential there. I'll just pick him up and maybe as like a super deep roster trade bait kind of thing, like swap a couple random 3-point players.
Yeah.
And then I came through and I was like, I don't really want him. I don't really even need him. I don't know why I did that.
That was disappointing.
Yeah. I also put in a bid. I think I put in a bid for Zamir White, and he got picked up. Was that after the fact too? Maybe I didn't put in a bid for him. Glizzy Gladiators got him on Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So another guy that I thought was super funny. I saw a meme about this today. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Cam Akers did get signed to the Vikes, right?
Did he get signed again to the Vikes?
Well, I think so because I saw a video of. Have you ever seen that video of the professor who always says the same thing when he walks into his class?
No.
Where he goes, "Hello, hello."
No, I've never seen it.
He says the same thing every day. It's always like it's like this compilation of him walking into the class, but he's always wearing a different outfit because it's a new day. But he says the same thing every day. It's always hello, hello, and the caption was like, every time the Vikings have an injured running back and Cam Akers shows up to the practice facility, hello.
Cam Akers joins the Vikings practice squad.
Yeah, of course
That
he
is
does.
so funny,
I know.
man.
Yeah, it cracked me up.
Yeah.
So shout out Big Lake Lumberjacks for grabbing an absolute elite running back. Any other notable players that got added?
I don't think so too much. Let's should we shift back over to how just a quick recap kind of last week? We can touch base. Maybe not dive as deep into each game as we did last week, but just kind of touch base.
Yeah, just brush up.
Let's see. Should we start at the bottom of the scores. So Glizzy Gladiators and OG Skylarks.
Great game between these two.
Yeah, it
Great
was
game.
99.7 Glizzy Gladiators defeated the OG Skylarks, who put up 95. This was a weird one because it was pretty much the battle of
The quarterbacks.
like it was like a 3-on-3 game.
Yeah.
This was like big three.
Yeah. Ice Cube would have loved this game.
Yeah. It was Lamar Jackson and Jamar Chase with a little bit of Romeo Dobbs added in there against Russell Wilson, Nico Collins, and Jalen Waddle, with Tet McMillan making an appearance off the bench as well.
Yep.
So it was just like, who can... Jamar Chase won it for Glizzy.
Yeah,
basically,
for sure.
because the quarterbacks were pretty even.
Yeah, I was going to say, OG Skylark almost stole one here with Russell Wilson putting up 36.
Yeah, because if he just put up 20 points, that's not a good week.
That's not a close week at all.
No. But also, we could say the exact same thing about Glizzy.
That's
such
true.
a weird studs and duds game.
That is a bit of our league, though, is you do see a bit of studs and duds where one or two guys goes off and the entire trajectory of the week changes. If Baker Mayfield puts up 28 or 18, it's probably the difference between a win and a loss
Yeah.
for me, which is kind of crazy.
Okay, looking at these teams, who do you think is more likely to continue the studs and duds? Like if they're going to just need their stars to win, or do you think either of these teams it's more of a fluke week and they'll be more balanced in the future?
I think the answer to that is different for each team.
Okay.
I think the Glizzy Gladiators are more of a studs and duds team where they need Lamar and they need Jamar Chase to go off because you're reliant on guys like Thornton and Fannin Jr. You know, Fannin Jr. does look good in Cleveland, but he is competing with Njoku. Like that's going to decrease both of their values just because
They're both going to split.
Yeah, it's a split tight end room.
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs is going to have very shaky weeks. Butte, is that how you say it? Kendrick Butte?
Keyshawn Butte.
Keyshawn Butte. He's a bit of a flyer pick. Like
Actually, I think it might be Booty. I think it really might just be pronounced Booty.
I think it is Booty. He had 8.1 this week, but he had a touchdown and one catch.
Yeah, one catch, 16 yards touchdown.
And I've been doing some research on. I do like the Denver Broncos team, so I kind of stay up to date with them. And RJ Harvey he's just not quite there yet. Not saying that he's not going to have value by the end of the season, but he's just not the guy in Denver right now.
I don't know. I don't know that he'll have that much more value at the end of the year.
I wouldn't be surprised. He just doesn't seem like the guy.
I think he's okay. I think he's serviceable. I just don't think he's going to pay off quite what the expectation was going into the year.
Yeah, and after week one, the other running back on the Glizzy Gladiators is Breece Hall. Week one, it looked like, hey, maybe people slept on Breece Hall. You should have picked him up earlier in the draft. I mean, realistically, in the 2024 draft, he was a 5th pick overall kind of guy, and then he totally dropped. Comes in hot week one. It was like, oh man, maybe this Jets team's
against
looking
the
good.
tough Pittsburgh team, or supposed to be a tough Pittsburgh team.
Right.
I don't think they're actually a tough
No,
Pittsburgh
I don't either.
team.
And then comes out and puts up 4.8 on 29 rushing, 2 catches for 9 yards. That's kind of what I think people expected Breece Hall to do more often than not. So this Glizzy Gladiators team is very studs and scrubs. Whereas the OG Skylarks, they're not going to put up 36 points from their quarterback every week, but you're also probably not going to only get 7.5 from Chase Brown. You should get more than 1 point from Charbonnet. Nico Collins
1 point from Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, 1 point from Cortland Sutton. Nico Collins has had a slow start to the year. Travis Kelce has made a lot of early season mistakes. I do love Tet. I think he's incredible. And Jalen Waddle is just hit or miss.
I think they desperately need to find a replacement for Sharps at RB2. They just need a better RB2, and this team could be. I mean, maybe when Spears comes back, that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah. Not a lot of
They
replacements
did have
on the bench,
Hunter
though.
Renfro on the bench who put up
2 touchdowns.
Although
Yeah.
I don't think you expect that every week.
No, that's not
I
sustainable.
really think the key for them is going to be if they could find another RB2, that's a very solid team.
Yeah. OG Skylarks has a good team. All right, let's move on to African Token and Slumlord Co. A bit of a difference in scoring here. Slumlord Co. barely gets a win on the African Token. I mean, kind of 10-point difference, but it was
Not a good week.
59.4 for African Token and 69.98 for the Slumlord Co.
Let's ignore African Token because we know they suck.
Okay.
Right?
One thing I do want to touch base on is Rashad White. Real quick.
Just to keep flip flopping week to week.
Yeah, just to talk about it real quick. Rashad White did have a pretty solid game last week. They did split more carries than I expected. I kind of thought it was just Bucky Irving's backfield and Rashad White would come in every now and then. But did have a decent game on 65 rushing yards and a touchdown with 2 catches.
Yeah, but look at the other side. Slumlord Code has Irving, and he still outscored him. Irving had 71 rushing yards, and the big part, 6 catches for 50 yards.
Bucky Irving is obviously the RB1 in that system, but I think Rashad White is more of an RB2 than anybody thought he was going to be.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
I really don't think so. I think this was a bit of a fluke week. I don't think he gets that very often. I think more so than not, he's scoring less than 7 points a week. And if you're
probably
averaging less than 7 a week, you don't want them in your lineup at all.
Maybe if you can average 5 to 6 per week, it's probably a flex spot for some of these relegated teams.
Yeah, it could be. Not a great one. Not one that's going to get you boosted up anywhere.
The thing that spooks me is Slumlord Co. put up just shy of 70 points last week. I played them this week. Drake London had 4.4. Amari and Hampton had 3. CeeDee Lamb has yet to have a touchdown in the season and still is putting up like 16 points a game. So I think, and a decent flex with Michael Pittman. Now Marquise Brown's probably going to take a little step back if Xavier Worthy gets any time.
Right.
But this team is just poised for a massive week. I think they're going to be nasty.
Yeah, Hampton just hasn't done that much. I'm a little nervous about Hampton.
Yeah.
A little, I'm not nervous in the long run. Obviously, a very, very good player to have on your team, would want him. I don't know if he's going to put up massive numbers maybe until end of the season. I think he'll slowly get better.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I agree.
He hasn't looked great.
No.
And that Chargers team seems to want to pass a lot more than they want to run right now.
Which is surprising with Harbaugh. I think nobody expected that. There was so much value around Amari and Hampton because it was like you're in a run, like a coaching system where run seems like the trend in his previous teams.
Well, and with Greg Roman, their offensive coordinator, super run heavy offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but they're just airing it out right now. Quentin Johnson has more touchdowns on the season than Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Doesn't he have 3 touchdowns on the year?
Yeah, I think Jamar has 2. So there's just some guys that could pop off. Now, here's a question before we move on. Slumlord Co. has Spencer Rattler on the bench, who put up almost 28 points last week. And you're looking at CJ Stroud, who has a pretty terrible O-line and is not a Russian quarterback in any sense, is not putting up anything too impressive. Is there any inclination to start Spencer Rattler over CJ Stroud?
Probably not. Let's see.
I would probably have to agree.
I need to see what does Stroud have coming up. He plays Jacksonville this week. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, Stroud.
I think that'll be fine.
It's just so risky with Rattler
at Jacksonville. Yeah,
his split has gone 11.5 to almost 28. So it's like,
Stroud's has gone 8 to 16.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I'm not super high on Stroud, but he's just more. He just should be more consistent. He's it feels like the safer play.
I would still play Stroud.
Yeah,
but
I would
if
too.
Rattler continues to kind of, even if he's more boom busty and he goes from 10 to 25 back to 8 to whatever, Stroud might not get to a point where he's even 20 points per game. So I get what you're saying. I think in my head, I laughed immediately. Like, why are we even taking the time to talk about this?
Know.
But it might be closer than we think if he can. I don't know. Because that New Orleans defense isn't good.
No.
And Houston's defense is really good.
Yeah. Yep. That Houston defense is so
there might be a case.
That's like one of the only teams in the NFL for me that I would rather watch their defense than their offense.
Really?
Yeah, that Texans offense is so
Texans, awful.
Yeah, they are. It's a really irritating offense to watch. But with Danielle Hunter and Stingley totally shut down. Is that Derek Stingley, right? The cornerback?
Probably. I don't know. I should know defensive players better.
It was so fun to watch him shut down. If I'm remembering correctly, they played the Bucs last week on Monday, right? And he shut down Mike Evans like the entire game. And then you had Danielle Hunter and Anderson just roaming in that middle linebacker spot. That was a fun game to watch.
That was actually a really fun game to watch.
This matchup, not so much. Not a super fun game. They did not break 120 points. Oh, no, they did. They just barely.
Yeah. They didn't break 140.
Yeah.
In total.
50, 60, 100. Oh, yeah, you're right. 59, 60. Yeah, you're right. They did not break 140.
Wait, they didn't break. Oh, no, 130. Right?
50 plus 60 is
110, 128.
128.
Yeah.
129. They just broke 130.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Barely.
I think so. Well, 70 plus 60 would be 130.
Pretty boring.
Yeah, pretty boring. Let's talk about a more fun matchup. Still a huge discrepancy in scoring, but the team that lost by 50 points and almost still beat the median.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Barely lost to the median. The median was super interesting this week.
It was.
Should we quickly touch on the 4 teams that were battling out? It came down to the very end. Actually, why don't you talk about it, because you jumped out of being below the median into 6th.
Yeah. So projected league median was 90.33 this week. I was reliant on Baker Mayfield coming in on Monday, not only to beat Zealand, who had Egbuka. I mean, I was set up to probably beat him because, I had Baker, he had Egbuka. As long as he didn't throw all 3 touchdowns to Egbuka, or, throwing all of his passing touchdowns to Egbuka. I don't even think he had 3 this week, but I was going to be in a little bit of trouble potentially. But I just knew that if Baker could have a game where he put up like more than 23 points or 22 points, that I was going to be able to beat the median and probably win this week. So I finished at 92.2, but I was looking at teams like Roided Robbers. They were already locked in at 91.14. Big Lake Lumberjacks were locked in at 91.54. We had the Lake City Longnecks at 89.52. A lot of teams floating around this like 91 marker, 91.5 marker. And I knew when I was getting on my plane to fly back to Arizona that Baker needed like 6 points to get over the hurdle. And so I got on the plane, started watching the TV or the game on live TV, and was just like watching this last drive. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm right there, but I don't really remember exactly where I was at or where this is going to finish me. And it just happened to be, you
needed that final touchdown to put you over, right?
He didn't get a final touchdown because they actually ended up running it in with Rashad White, but he marched down the field in the last 2 minutes.
So it was one of those runs where he like looked like he was out for the season with the broken kneecap, and he pops up and gets right in the face of CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Dude, I was so scared. He got down like he had just torn his Achilles.
I know.
And I was like, no,
and then he
please
popped
no.
up so fast
Popped
to
up
talk crap.
so fast. Dude, the funniest play in that game, which has nothing to do with the scoring or relegated, was Baker Mayfield breaks outside and takes a run because they're like 2 yards away from the first down. And he dives for it and reaches across the plane and gets the first down. And then Anderson gets up and he's just like, and then Baker Mayfield turns around and taps him and he goes, points out. He's like, I got the first down, bro. That cracked me up so much.
I love Baker, dude.
Oh, dude, how do you not?
He might be one of my favorite players in the NFL now.
Outside of the Vikings, he's absolutely my favorite player.
He is so fun to watch and so funny.
He is so hilarious. I was talking to Zealand about it, and I was going to text him and be like, dude, Baker has easily been, my favorite player in the last couple seasons. And then I remembered when we were juniors in college, Zealand's birthday came around, and his only request is for us to get him a Baker Mayfield jersey on the Cleveland Browns. Dude has loved Baker Mayfield since his rookie season.
That's awesome.
So cool.
That's great.
But yeah, crazy week for that median.
All in all, that median was a super close race.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
There was 4 teams within 4 points of that median.
Yeah. And the Bourbon Barrels came in with 141.9 this week, looking like a normal league team. Like Jaden Daniels had a great week.
What do you mean a normal league team?
Like just outside of our scoring, like a good week for us is if you score over 90, it's a pretty good week. He put up 141. That would probably win in most like 8-man, 10-man leagues.
Right. I get what you're saying now. Yeah.
So he had Jahmyr Gibbs had a great week. Chuba Hubbard had a great week. Roma Dunze had a phenomenal week. Keenan Allen's looking good. Tyler Warren's looking a lot better than I think a lot of people expected. James Conner had a good week. Devontae Adams had a great week.
He also had Troy Franklin on the bench, who is looking really solid.
Yeah, scary.
He will probably have to play Aaron Rodgers this week, depending on. It depends on how he's questionable. Jaden Daniels with a knee right now, so there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers will have to come in. But I don't think. Let's see what his matchup is next week. You keep going while I check.
Yeah, well, you look at that. I'm going to talk about the Lake City Longnecks.
Yeah,
they had a good week, not a great week. It was a good week. Jalen Warren's looking like the main back in Pittsburgh. Caleb Johnson is not getting any love out there. If you have him in your normal leagues, anything between 8-man to 12-man, I would not keep him on your team. He does not look like they're projected to split carries at all. He's like the RB3 out there, I think, right now. He had like 0.1 points this week and he started in our league for African Token. He was the RB2. J.K. Dobbins looks like the main back in Denver. So we were kind of talking about RJ Harvey a little bit. Justin Jefferson, kind of a slow start on the season so far, but just a lot of uncertainty with the quarterback room, which naturally leads us into the quarterback of the Lake City Longnecks. This was the pretty big blow. Not that it would have mattered, but it should have put them over the median. J.J. McCarthy had 2.82 points because he did have a fumble and was
2
not,
interceptions.
Yeah, not extremely healthy throughout the game, obviously, too.
Yeah, that was a killer. He really should have. And also, Jacoby Myers had 9.8 points.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably about 2 points less than he would typally get. And that would have put him over.
Yep, exactly. And, oh, man, this
leaving
one's real
Tucker
tough.
Kraft on the bench.
That stuff. I lucked into it on another week in another league. I had Evan Ingram starting in week 2 with not a lot of data to back that Tucker Kraft should be starting over Evan Ingram. But Evan Ingram was questionable, and Tucker Kraft played on Thursday. So I was like, I'm not going to take the chance. Just give me 8 points from Tucker Kraft. We're good to go. Dude puts up 24 points in PPR, puts up 21.4 in half PPR. Dude looks so good in that Green Bay offense.
Yep.
And I drafted him. I drafted him the first season.
Mm-hmm.
I had him. Should never have let him go. I miss him. Yeah. Lake City Long Neck should be able to bounce back, but kind of a crazy scoring difference and still almost putting up 90 points. But
Yeah,
they'll bounce back.
rough start for them.
Let's talk about another even bigger discrepancy in points scored. The Old York Yorkies put up 127 points this week against Acorn Assassins that did not break the 48-point marker. Couple of the notable players, Devon Achen was looking great this week. Malik Neighbors was incredible, 33 points. He had such an awesome catch in the end zone to win the game for the Giants last week.
Did he? Okay, I was saying this. I did not get to watch much
Oh, man.
at
it was
all
so
because
fun.
we were in Charleston for my wife's birthday, and so it was her birthday on Sunday, which definitely not the time to spend all day watching football. So we were out at the beach and everything. I was tracking a little bit, but I didn't get to see anything. So he had a crazy catch to end it.
Yeah, he had the game-winning catch.
Let's go.
They threw it to the back of the end zone, and he jumped over the cornerback.
Hot take, I think he might be good.
Yeah, I don't think that's that hot.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown also had a great game. He had 3 receiving touchdowns for 34.7 points. 7 rushing, 9 catches on 115 yards and 3 touchdowns, which is still less yards than Wandell Robinson last week, who was on my bench.
Yeah, that is very true.
It's kind of crazy. Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't have a great week. That Cardinals offense just does not look like they're kicking yet.
Well, the tough part, it's such a weird game because they were up 27-3.
Yeah.
So they basically just stopped doing anything on offense and on defense.
Yeah.
And they let Carolina back into it and ended up winning 27-22. So kind of a weird week. But you're right. That Cardinals offense just does not look like it just doesn't look good. I don't get it.
Yeah, they should be so much better.
It
Kyler
makes
Murray
me
is
so
just
mad.
so irritating to watch sometimes.
He is so frustrating.
He was my first quarterback drafted in one of my other leagues. I always use this as a reference point because I'm in a decent amount of leagues, so I have a lot of these guys like on a team. My teams are so weird this year. But Marvin Harrison just didn't look great. James Conner didn't even look that great.
No, weird week.
Let's talk about your bench, though. Some of the guys on the bench that I want to talk about. Cam Scadaboo finally gets his first NFL touchdown.
Dude, he looks he is
White
a
Lightning.
beast.
I love that dude.
I freaking love him.
He's awesome. Krosky Merritt, somebody interesting to talk about.
Yeah,
He only
now
put up
that
1.7.
Eckler's out.
Eckler's out for the season, probably. I think he actually is out for the season.
He tore his ACL.
So
his Achilles.
Krosky Merritt should take on a bigger bulk, but I did see somebody talking about this, not to sway you. They were saying even though he's an enticing pick this year, or enticing play this week, and probably still an enticing play in our league, they are playing Las Vegas, and I think whoever Las Vegas played last week held them in. They played Chargers,
and
they held Amari Hampton to 3 points.
And I think week 1 I can't remember who they played week 1. Did they play Seattle week 1 and hold Walker in check?
They played New England in week 1.
Oh,
and held Travion Henderson in check.
Sort of. Henderson,
kind of.
He just didn't have that many touches. He did okay.
I think he had like 10 points, maybe.
No, I agree. I probably won't start him this week, but that's also because I just don't need to.
Yeah, you don't really need to.
I mean, he's not going to start over Achan, and I mean, Jinty still hasn't been good at all yet this year. He got a touchdown in week 1, and that saved it, but I still think I'm going to start Jinty over him as of right now. Then I don't know. He could be interesting. I could possibly put him in over Harrison or put him in a flex spot, but
yeah, I was thinking that.
I don't know.
It seems a little riskier.
It does. It's probably not worth it.
Last guy to talk about on your team, AJ Brown with just the slowest start of all starts.
Oh my gosh, terrible! A lot of catches,
7 total points.
A lot of catches here. Yeah, well, not a lot, but five catches, just 27 yards though. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I think he is going to see better days. I'm not like planning on selling low on him or anything. I think my team is fine where it is. Like, I think he's going to be a boom bust player this year. He's going to have a few different games where he puts up maybe even multiple touchdowns, right? Like, I'm still not worried that he's going to get his, but I don't think he's going to be, he probably won't even be a wide receiver 1 at the end of the season. But if he can be a top 15 guy, which is funny, that's a wide receiver 1 for us, I guess. If he can be a top 24 guy, then okay, he's still serviceable. He's still fine. It's good enough to have in the lineup.
Right.
I just don't think I would get enough trade value right now.
Yeah. The tough thing about him right now is he's averaging like 93% of the snap shares. Like he's always on the field.
Well, it's because they're just running it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just dominant.
Hurts is hardly throwing. I don't think he has a pass completed over like It's something crazy. Like he doesn't have a pass completed over 10 yards or something stupid like that. Air
Doesn't
yards or
surprise me.
something.
It really doesn't.
I might be making that stat up completely, but
say,
it's like nothing.
I think their most impactful wide receiver right now is like Olamide Zacchaeus. Is that
Jahan Dotson?
Oh, Jahan Dotson. He's had a couple over 10 yards.
Well,
he had that 150-yard catch, didn't he? In week 1?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's got to be, it was some stat.
Maybe it was week 2,
crazy.
Though. Week 2, he didn't have a.
Yeah. Oh, that might have been it. It might have just been week 2.
Because week 2 was super boring game to watch for the Eagles.
Super boring.
But that was, you guys torched 126.9 to 47.48. Let's talk about the Fluffy and the Andover Avalanche.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fluffy was pretty highly projected at the beginning of the week. They put up 79.88 points.
Rough week for him. I think this is going to be an outlier week. I mean,
I do too. Their team is too good.
Derrick Henry only putting up 2.3.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Just not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Yeah, your best player, almost your best player on the roster this week was Nick Chubb. Just barely got outscored by Josh Jacobs by 0.2 points.
Yeah. So non-QB, you mean? Because Caleb Williams put up 20.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I meant like Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Devonta Smith, Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers, Nick Chubb, DJ Moore. If you hear that, that team is nasty on paper. Most of those guys did not break double digits this week.
How worried are you about DJ Moore?
I've always been low on DJ Moore. I've always been low on him. I think Roma Dunze has proven already very early on that he is way more of an enticing target than DJ Moore for Caleb Williams. Let's talk about the Fluffy Andover Avalanche again one more time. We were talking about the Fluffy. They had a tough week this week, which, like Luke said, it's probably an outlier week. Andover Avalanche looked pretty good, though, even though it's like a 10-point difference. The guys that didn't make it happen were the flex positions in the tight end. Evan Ingram, 1.7. Trey Tucker, 3.4. Keon Coleman came back down to earth and had 4.1. Zay Flowers came back down to earth a little bit, but still had 11.4. Montgomery got his touchdown finally. Saquon Barkley is the man. And Patrick Mahomes starting the season off pretty hot.
He has. Well, he's running. He's running a lot.
Yeah, because Travis Kelce can't catch anything.
66 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He didn't even put up 200 passing yards.
Yeah.
And he still somehow put up 24 points. He looks great.
Yep.
I think the David Montgomery addition is going to be huge for them. I also think it's really going to hurt Acorn Assassins. I'm kind of thinking Acorn Assassins though, and I'd like to get their take on it, but I'm thinking that they're looking at this season as this isn't their year. They're just looking to be young. They're trying to improve for next season.
That was essentially us. That was the Sleepers last year.
Yeah, but it was interesting because I think Acorn Assassins had a decent enough team to maybe be a playoff push. Maybe. They were low, but all you got to be is top 4.
All right.
Get one of those top picks. I don't know. I think it might have been a premature sell of Montgomery for Higgins, but who knows? I guess if Montgomery goes down, then you can't trade him at all. So
I would have been very interested to talk to them because I was so keen on trying to get David Montgomery. And then it kind of felt like the Luka Doncic trade where they were just like, no, we're just trading with the Lakers and we're not publicizing it anywhere to see if we can get a better deal. But I wonder, Avalanche must have approached them and then they had trade talks because Ryan's been pretty vocal about like, he's hit me up a couple times about trades. He's been active. So props to Avalanche for acquiring David Montgomery.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a point away from the Acorn Assassins for not reaching out to anybody else, though.
There you go.
All right. Let's talk about Number Punchers and Big Lake Lumberjacks. These were both high-scoring teams. Big Lake Lumberjacks at 91.54. Did that beat the median?
Barely.
So both teams got a win. Number Punchers put up 137.06 on the back of Jared Goff, 43.96 points.
Crazy.
5 passing touchdowns, and we do 6 points per passing touchdown, so that's huge for us.
Yeah, that was massive.
334 yards, 6 rushing.
McCaffrey continues to just get a ton of work.
Yep. Jonathan Taylor finally found his footing, put up a massive game, which he'll do.
Well, he had a good week 1. He just didn't have touchdowns in week 1.
Yeah, but 11.3 to 28.5.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. 165 rushing yards, just huge. But
and
I wouldn't say his week 1 was bad at all. Or anything
not bad. But Jonathan Taylor is known for having these kind of like, the fun thing about Jonathan Taylor that I didn't really realize early on in my fantasy career is that he is the type of guy where he'll stay consistent for you, and then he'll still have these like boom games.
Good floor and then massive
ceiling. So Deebo Samuel's still looking pretty solid for the Commanders. Looks like he is a main target.
Saved on a garbage time touchdown.
Still at 7 catches though for 44 yards. So it's not like a bad week. You know, when Deebo Samuel came into the league this year, I think a lot of people were very low on him.
I would be curious. I can't remember exactly how it went the whole game, but I'm pretty sure he had like a couple catches and a touchdown on that like final garbage time drive.
Yeah.
So I think he was at one point like 5 for 20. And then in that final drive, he picks up 24 yards and a touchdown or something like that. I don't know if that was the exact thing, but I definitely know he got that touchdown on the very end, and it saved his week.
Might have been a garbage week, but if you look at his stats across the board, he's already over 120 receiving yards.
Better than McLaurin.
He's had 18 targets and 14 catches and 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah.
So he's a focal point in that offense. Regardless of the garbage, he's still a very promising player. Garbage touchdown, he's still a very promising player for the rest of the season. I like Debo.
I don't dislike him. I think he's fine.
And then number punchers are only going to get more points with Jordan Mason putting up 4.8, but he's the main back in Minnesota now without a quarterback, really. I mean, we have our backup in, but
I don't think the quarterback change is going to change too much for Mason. I think the big thing is the offensive line.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's going to be the massive problem for him, is to overcome that offensive line, all the injuries right now, but he does not have Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Just Cam Akers to deal with now.
Yeah, nothing too notable on the bench other than Io Manor. Is that how you say his name? The rookie
Io
for
Manor?
Tennessee?
Yeah.
He's looking kind of promising. 4 catches, 56 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Seems like he could be a focal point in that Titans offense. And then just some good quarterback play on the bench. Mac Jones had a great week for the number punchers at 27.76. Matthew Stafford, 21.32. And then just some random guys. But pretty good week for both teams, putting up solid numbers.
I think
it's just tough to beat 137.
Yeah, Lumberjacks, Hurts only getting 11.5. That's not going to happen very often.
And James Cook should come back down a little bit, right? I mean, he's been going
I don't know.
crazy.
He might just be good.
He is good, though. I mean, he is good. 18.7 and 26. If we're going to talk about Javonte Williams taking a step forward this year, I think you got to say the same thing about James Cook.
Yeah.
But James Cook is better.
James Cook, he's continuing to score touchdowns, so that's really, really good for the Lumberjacks.
And DK Metcalf, last guy I'll talk about on the Lumberjacks, 3 catches for 20 yards. He's had a bit of a slow start, but he did have a receiving touchdown that kind of saved him. And I think he's propped up to have a good week this week too.
Yep. All right, so we have, 2 games left here? The Turf Hoppers, Rawberries?
Turf Hoppers, Rawberries, one of our closer games.
And then Sleepers, right?
Yep. So we'll start with Turf Hoppers Rawberries, 91.14 for the Rawberries and 85.64 for the Texas Turf Hoppers.
Defending champions starting 0-4, another slow start.
Can't imagine they're scared though, because they proved everybody wrong last year. Yeah, exactly.
I got to think they're sick of it though.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's a bit of a roller coaster.
Just like, come on.
Yeah. And they have a great team too, so like it should be more promising than this. Joe Burrow is now out for the season.
But he's got Dak Prescott.
But Dak Prescott's been looking great.
So that's
Kyron Williams has had a slow start. When he's not getting touchdowns right now, he is a single-digit running back. When he does get touchdowns, he's like 14. So he's super touchdown dependent.
He is.
But he should pick it up. Like, he was so consistent last year.
ETN off to a hot start.
ETN off to a very hot start.
Does ETN keep it up?
I think so.
Where do you think he falls end of the year?
Top 20.
That's not really keeping it up.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Because he's like, what is he? RB.
He's got to be a top 3 RB right now.
Is he?
I mean, he's put up week 1 17.1, then 15.9. So no, he's not quite that high. You're right. He's probably but he's probably top 5 right now.
Probably. Yeah, he looks good.
I can look it up
I don't
real
think
quick.
he keeps that pace, but I do think he has a better season than everybody expected. I think it was a great acquire. Looking like, especially after that Tank Bigsby trade, sending him to Philadelphia, there's really not a lot of competition in Jacksonville. You're pretty much, the issue that you're going to run into, though, is Jacksonville is not going to be a winning team this year, I don't think. And so not very often are you going to be looking at the running back in that team saying they're going to need to kill clock.
No, but he's a receiving running back, so he's going to get a lot of
That's where his
receptions.
value's at,
So he's 7th currently,
Okay.
just behind Devon Achane.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
I guess, he's 4.2 points behind Achane.
No, I don't think he keeps it up, but I think if he just averages double digits for the rest of the year, it's a great acquire.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, the price that he paid up for him, and it's really paying off. Not so much in the win column, but in the moral victory column.
Yeah, they do have a lot of depth on their team, though. Mike Wilson had 7.6, very due to a touchdown, but Ramondre Stevenson looked really good last weekend. He had
he looked great.
18.7, and they gave Blake Corum the touchdown in LA. So looking like they may be
Which he would much rather just go to Kyron.
Yeah,
just
for sure.
keep it in his starting lineup.
Right, exactly.
But if Kyron goes down, Corum's the next man up.
Then Barner with a
On
touchdown.
the Robbery side, you have Lawrence putting up a good week. Numbers wise, they lost and he had 2 interceptions, but he still put up 271, 3 touchdowns. Bijan off to a great start. Olave getting a ton of targets.
Yep.
A ton of targets. If he can get a touchdown or just a little bit, I think he's a very serviceable wide receiver right now, as long as he stays healthy.
Yep.
Juwan Jennings, great week. That was huge for him, 17.4.
Yeah.
And Zach Ertz continues to just defy age and defy what everybody wants, and he just keeps performing.
I know. I love
Nobody
Ertz.
likes. Oh, okay. I guess one person likes him.
I like Ertz. I do. I think he's fun. I don't know why.
But
Darnell Mooney has not hit his stride yet. He had 3 points.
well, he just got back. He was injured week 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this was his first week back.
Hasn't hit his stride yet, though.
He has not hit his stride. He definitely needs a little bit of help in that final flex spot.
Yep.
But he's 2-2, so already ahead of where the league had him projected.
Yep.
He is middle of the pack in that championship league. Let's see where he falls in the standings right now. He is currently in 6th. So he's avoiding relegation very, very early on.
Yep.
We'll see if that continues. He needs some more help.
He does need more help. One guy I want to touch base on is Tesla, Isaac Tesla for the Lions.
Yeah.
Had another, I think he has 2 catches on the year. Yeah, he has 2 catches on the year, 2 targets, 2 catches. Both catches have been Odell Beckham status.
Really? Another great?
Yeah, he had an incredible catch this week as
He's
well.
going to be fun.
Dude, he will be fun. They just need to open up some space for him. They're just so deep on the offensive side. They don't really
don't
need
need
him. Yeah, they don't. But he would be fun to see more catches, more game time.
If Amon-Ra or Jamison Williams goes down, he could add a lot of value.
I could see him coming in as like an early. I can't even think. I'm only thinking of like wide receivers right now. I'm like, is he like an early Cooper Kupp? Like, kind of
No,
not really. He's not getting enough target shares.
maybe more like a white Plaxico Burress
Okay, yeah, I like
Maybe.
that.
from back in the day.
From back in the day, yeah.
I don't actually. He's more of a possession guy, right? So
It's tough to say. I mean, he's had 2 targets. It's tough to compare him to anybody.
and he keeps that possession. He
Yeah.
does not miss.
He does not miss when he gets
100% hands.
Yeah, he's a fun player though. It'll be fun to keep eyes on him. And then Aaron Jones coming off. Did you already talk about him for Road to Robberies?
No, just the fact that he'll be on IR.
Yeah, he'll
so
be on IR.
That'll be a bummer for
They'll
him.
need to fill a spot, and that'll be a pretty big hit. They're just not that deep.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at yours and then let's wrap the pod here. So sleepers corn dog.
Yeah. Yep. We kind of talked about Baker Mayfield a little bit, but he carried me a bit.
Javonte
Again,
Williams, 22 points.
Javonte Williams looks like the man, which is nice because Brian Thomas is not doing what he needs to. And so Javonte Williams has been really picking up the slack for me.
Alvin Kamara being a very steady placeholder.
Yeah, put up 13 points with a fumble, and that fumble was the most ridiculous fumble of all time.
Was it? Tell me about it. 'Cause
It was a fumble.
I did not see it.
It was a fumble, but it was not his fault. It was almost like an incredible catch. Spencer Rattler threw it so far behind him that Alvin Kamara caught it on his shoulder, and then while he was turning, he was like trying to pull it down, and the defender came up and punched it out because he had like no control of the ball. So he like caught it on his shoulder.
How was that a fumble then?
He caught it. He had
And he was
possession.
like running with it.
Yeah, he was like taking steps, and then he was bringing it down, and then the defender came underneath, punched it out, or over the top, punched it out.
That's a bummer.
And I was like, dude, that's got to be an incomplete pass.
If you had missed the median by that fumble.
Oh, I know. Well, that was what I was expecting at first. I was like, am I really going to lose because of that Alvin Kamara fumble? Thankfully, I was able to hold it together. And Jake Ferguson had a good week.
Brian Thomas, not looking great to start.
And on top of that, Travis Hunter doesn't look good either.
No.
And on top of that, I just got Parker Washington.
Well, no, but that's a good thing because if the top 2 guys aren't playing well, number 3's got to be great.
Yeah,
Just put them all 3 in. You got.
that's true. Yeah, just play all of Jacksonville every single week.
That's what I would do.
Go after Brenton Strange and get Trevor Lawrence on my squad.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Just rebrand to the Sun City Jaguars.
Biggest blow this week was I was going back and forth between Austin Eckler, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Calvin Austin. Now, good play not to play Calvin Austin. He had 2.7. But Austin Eckler gets hurt pretty early on. He's now out for the season, that's a big blow for me.
And Wan'Dale did okay.
And Wan'Dale did okay. 142 reception yards, 1 touchdown, 8 catches, 24.2 fantasy points on my bench. Son of a gun.
It cost you nothing
It cost me nothing.
because
I
you
got
still
two
went
wins.
2-0.
I know.
So it does not that big a deal unless you lose in a tiebreaker at the end of the season.
Yeah, a lot more nerve-wracking when the weekend was going on because it was such a close call. But it's nice to know that I can put Wan'Dale Robinson in place of Austin Eckler moving forward now.
For sure.
So that's
Bouncing
promising.
over to Corn Dog.
Yep.
Josh Allen, horrible week.
Horrible week.
Only because their team was so good.
Yep.
It had nothing to do with Josh Allen. No worries there.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker bounces back, has a great week. 105 rushing, 1 rushing touchdown.
Yep.
Egbuka continues to get touchdowns
Yep.
on kind of low receptions and low receiving yards.
Yep.
But he looks great.
He still has 13 targets though in the season.
Yeah, a lot
8
of
catches, 13 targets. He's just not getting the yardage yet, and he's not catching all the balls, but
it'll come though.
it will.
It will come.
TJ
TJ
Hawkinson,
looking bad.
Looking bad, dude.
Really bad.
And only getting worse, to be honest.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get much worse than 1 reception, 12 yards, but he can do it.
Yeah, he can find a way.
He'll be able to.
Man, yeah, 4.7 points across 2 games is not what you're looking for from a tight end that should be top 8 in the NFL.
Hopkins is this
Second
another
game.
touchdown? Second game with a touchdown in a
Second
row?
game with a touchdown. I was watching that game. I was thinking, you've got to be kidding me.
He has 4 targets, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Crazy. Hunter Henry came back down to earth a little bit. He had 10, not really down to earth, but he had 10 points in week 1. I was high on Hunter Henry coming into the season, and then he just really didn't make it happen this week. He had 1 catch for 9 yards on 1.4 points. Not a whole lot of points left on the benches for either team, other than Tutton had a touchdown for Jacksonville this week, and he was left on the bench. Tootin. And my guy, Wan'Dale Robinson. But 92.2 points, and Zealand even told me, he's like, this is more so what I expected scoring-wise, around 75 points. He was like, but if we can have Josh Allen put up 30 points, like that's when we make a huge adjustment from that 75 to 80 to like we're pushing 90s. You know, we're pushing 95s. That's a sweet spot to be in.
Finish around 500 and hope to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, he still has a lot of guys on his team that should be playing well. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a bit inflated, but I think TJ Hawkinson
For sure.
TJ Hawkinson should take a step up at some point in the year.
I don't know if he does.
Tony Pollard hasn't really been that guy yet either. For
He
Tennessee.
just didn't get, 92 rushing yards. Just needs
He needs his
a
touchdowns.
touchdown, and that'll be good.
Still the backfield guy out there. He's getting most of the snaps, 89% across the board for the season. So he's always on the field.
Because Spears is still injured.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he'll be good for another couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Yep. Sun City Sleepers go 4-0 somehow. Corn Dogs are 2-2. I was confident, but I didn't think I was going to be undefeated at this point. So
I love it. Yeah, so very solid team.
Going to be a fun week this week. We'll keep you guys posted on scores. We'll always talk about the matchups afterwards. We'll talk about how the score is laid out, and then any new information we'll be able to keep you guys posted about that as well. But anything you want to add before we kind of wrap up the episode, Luke?
I can't think of anything. Let us know on social or in our chat if there's anything you guys want us to talk about.
Yep.
I know we got kind of yelled at for not properly grading the first trade of the season. Kopka came at me for that one. So we'll make sure to do that in the future. Tough to go back and grade it now because with hindsight, and we just know too much, and,
Makes our
and
job
we would just
easy.
say, we just know too much. It's not as fun.
Yeah.
Avalanche won. That's all I got to say.
They did
Avalanche
win.
won that trade.
Yeah. But we'll see you guys next week. And if you can still hear a metronome, we are sorry. We'll see you later, Relegators.